Well, welcome to Shaun Spins. I'm your host, Shaun, and this is episode 28. And I hope everybody is safe and well out there. We're going to be reviewing a Bob Marley single today. And I picked this single as a tribute. I mentioned in the last video that we've been having a very difficult time here as of late. And the reason is one of my students that I taught for many years in grade school was murdered. And at the funeral, I spoke about Bob Marley and the lyric of one good thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. And for a lot of us, Hyram did that with his smile. He had such a powerful, beautiful smile that it made everybody happy and you didn't feel any pain. I want to read a poem that Hyram wrote when he was much younger in grade school about music, and then we're going to get into the review. Hyram, February 22nd, 2010. 12 years old. Stars, the goddess of instruments, drum and guitar. Broke my drum 'cause I want to be a star. I, Hyram, love to play the drum. If I had an instrument list, it would be number 1. When I drop my drumstick on my drum, I go crazy, psycho, don't stop, stick with the sun, boom pat. The day has begun even after hours, I'm still not done. I, Hyram, love to play the drum. And when it comes to the best, it can only be one. I, Hyram, love to play the drum. You should try it one day and go get you one. You know, we all love you, Hyram, and we miss you. And to everybody, put the guns down and stop the violence. And so let's get into the record or single or song I picked. Now I went with Bob Marley, Trenchtown. This is the single, and I want to get into a little bit of like how I got into Bob Marley and the Wailers, and then we're going to get into that song and the difference with that song and like Trenchtown Rocks. So I grew up where Bob Marley passed away, and I wasn't really exposed to the music of Bob Marley and the Wailers until I was a little older, and it was from a friend of mine. I used to go to his house all the time to play on the computer and just play. His family is from Ghana, and he was born in England. And as I said, we would be over there playing on a computer, very early version of a modem and a scanner, and we're talking about a modem when it was like local and you had to pay long distance fees if you went any other kind of primitive website. And this is when, the modem, if anyone picked up the phone, it would ruin it. I remember one time we waited 6 hours or 7 hours to download a little trailer to the second Wing Commander game, and we would have to tell everyone, don't touch the phone, please don't pick up the phone. So at my friend's house, that was also the first time I saw a real guitar. He had a guitar that he brought over from England. It was a little tiny classic guitar. It was probably 3/4 scale, and it had like 2 or 3 strings. Yet that guitar got me really interested in making music. And we would listen to a lot of music in this computer room that we would go into. And yet his father sat in the patio and would listen to music in the afternoon. And a lot of times it was Bob Marley and the Wailers. And I remember eventually we got a hold of some of that music and brought it into the room with us. And we started listening to it. And there goes my introduction to Bob Marley and the Wailers. And since then, it's been a constant music in my life. We're going to be reviewing the song from Bob Marley and the Wailers, Trenchtown. It's on the album Confrontation, yet we're going to be reviewing the single version and it's different. I also really love the song Trenchtown Rocks. My favorite version is on the live album. It's just beautiful, and that's where that lyric comes from. One good thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain, and then the lyric, brutalize me with music. When Bob Marley sings about Trenchtown, where he grew up, he really talks about how music can set you free, and it's a powerful force. And for me, when he sings about Trenchtown, I can relate to where I live right now, and where I live right now can be a very difficult place. So I love that Bob Marley and the Wailers puts that PMA out there, that positivity, that music can set you free. One good thing about music, when it hits you, feel no pain. And I'm convinced that for an hour a day, places in the world everywhere should be playing this outside, and I can imagine it would help a lot of people. So you might be saying, Shaun, what's the biggest difference with this single album comparison to Confrontation? Well, the song's a lot longer. It's got a lot of more instrumentation in it, and also feels like a different drum sound in the beginning, and I feel like that sound kind of continues, like definitely in the beginning though. This is the back of the album. Now, on the back, it doesn't mention like the times or things like that, and yet it is longer. It's close to, I would say, like 6 minutes, and Confrontation seems like it's around 3.5 minutes. Take out the record. It's got one of those plastic sleeves from the 80s. This side says Trenchtown, the other side is Trenchtown Dub. I don't really care for the dub as much. A lot of reverb and like echo effect, and but I do love Trenchtown on this album. It's got like a solo in it too that sounds like it's maybe on a Moog, possibly on a guitar. As I said though, it's longer, and who can complain about that? Having more of Bob Marley and the Wailers. If you can have a song that's 3 minutes or like 6.5, like wouldn't you prefer the 6.5? Of course! It's a beautiful song, talking about freeing people with music. And, music and the arts they're powerful. And I really recommend it. I have found the single version on YouTube. Someone downloaded it. Yet, I didn't really find much else about it. As I said, it's the first release that came out after his passing. And I think it's a beautiful song to remember him with. And as I said, for me, it brings up a lot of memories and thoughts of Hyram with his smile. That his smile is just as powerful. It can change people. It can make you happy. And yeah, so song, you gotta love the positivity in the song. Really recommend it. I've been listening to a lot of Bob Marley and the Wailers this year, and this is one of the songs that's been playing. Another one that's been playing a lot is Trenchtown Rocks, and I love that song. And listening to Bob Marley, another song too. A lot of times, oh man, from high tide or low tide, I'm gonna be by your side. Another song he's singing those lyrics is just beautiful, beautiful. And I feel as though we can all use some positivity. And Bob Marley and the Wailers definitely provides that. I don't think I can recommend this song anymore. I really recommend listening to Trenchtown and listening to both differences between the single and Confrontation, and then listening to Trenchtown Rocks. Different song, yet very similar theme, and just amazing, great songs. So until next time, hope everybody's safe and well, and be nice to each other, and take care.